Thank you so much for coming out to our webinar. I'm Deb Templeton, and we're going to talk today about some tips on selecting some e-learning tools. And I'm so happy that you're here and eager to learn about some information we have to share with you. So here at Learn Experts, just a bit of an introduction so that you know what we do as a team. We have a vision to help transform the world's information into learning for the organizations that we work with. To help meet this vision, we do focus on two areas. So the first is that we provide some professional services to help organizations achieve their strategic learning program goals. Quite a lofty task. And secondly, we've created an industry-changing learning content creation platform that we call LEAI, L-E-A-I, which is Learn Experts AI. And yes, it does include the power of AI. The power of these two solutions together allows us to make incredible impacts in the organizations that we work with. And we have a lot of clients who are really reaping the benefits of the time-saving aspects of AI in developing their learning content while using their instructional design expertise and resources to create the best quality training content. So now you know a little more about us and what we do. Let's just get down to the business at hand today. So in the webinar today, I'll be covering an overview of the different types of e-learning tools available in the market. We'll look at the benefits and the features that you can expect from different e-learning tools. And also we'll talk about some things that you should consider before making a decision. So here's a survey from SkillJar, which is a leading provider of LMS solutions, and they asked the question, which formats of training do you plan to increase your investment in over the coming year? And what they found was that online learning, including videos, virtual instructor-led training, and e-learning modules were in the top formats where companies were looking to increase their investment. And now we're going to have a poll in which we would ask, which formats of training do you plan to increase your investment in the coming year? And if you could answer the questions as they pertain to you, select one of the following: videos, virtual instructor-led training, e-learning, in-person instructor-led training, and certification. So please respond, and Anu will let us know when the poll is closed and post the results. And Anu, where do I see the results? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the poll results are that videos are 30%, virtual instructor-led training 20%, e-learning takes the win at 50%. That's awesome, so glad that you're here. In-person instructor-led training, no one responded to that as investing in it the coming year, and certification. Really interesting. Thank you so much, Anu. Okay, so now and thank you everyone for participating in that survey. We appreciate knowing your perspective and your stance on things like that. So when you are considering investing in technology to augment your online learning or e-learning programs, the options can be overwhelming. And as you can see, this is an eye chart of options, which is just really a portion of solutions that are available out in the market today. So in today's webinar, we're going to try to simplify the categories that you need to consider for your e-learning options and provide you some guidelines as to what you would consider. When helping companies evaluate what technologies they need for e-learning, these are three categories that we consider. So with regards to content development, just to define it as we're explaining it in this presentation, it gives you an authoring environment to help create from scratch some content, and can take also your existing SME or subject matter expert content and convert it into a training format. Considering e-learning production, it's also called an e-learning authoring tool. This category of tools will help take your content and allows you to build your e-learning modules with some interactive learning activities. And then e-learning delivery, the third category we're looking at, is a way for your learners to take e-learning courses, which are usually self-paced and would be on demand. So it's these three tool categories that help to support the creation, production, and delivery of e-learning. Now here's a sample of the options that are available to companies for these three different e-learning categories. Many people look to content development tools that are common, such as Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, Google Docs, and Google Sheets. And there's also our Learn Experts toolset with AI called Leah, which I introduced earlier. For e-learning production, you can see that there's a lot of tool options, including some well-known tools like Articulate, Adobe Captivate. I've used both of those, Camtasia, iSpring, TechSmith, and many, many more. For delivering the e-learning to the learner, it's through a learning management system or LMS, and there are tools such as SkillJar, RiseUp, Edcast, and many, many more options. As you can see from the slide, couldn't even fit them all in there. So let's dive in and look more closely at these three categories. And regardless of the solution that you use, the questions that you should be asking when you're selecting an e-learning content development tool include some of these, which to me, it's really the key takeaway from this whole presentation today. Ask yourself, what are the tool's capabilities? Does it include some tools like AI that will help you to build learning content faster and more effectively? What is the learning content quality that's created using the tool? Does the tool provide templates for learning content to be built with best practices in mind? And can it help you create assessments easily? Does the tool provide some suggestions on how to improve the content, or is it all just taking it as you manually put that in there? Ask yourself, how long does it take for you to use the tool to actually create the content that you need and that you want? Does the tool allow you to import existing learning assets easily when you want to augment your course content with supplementary material or late-breaking topics that are hot off the product release? Also ask yourself, what are the export options of the tool? Are you going to be restricted? Does it have the capability to actually export to formats that you are going to need in delivering your courses? What are the capabilities for you to use the tool in order to reuse this content that you're developing in other courses, or to do something like create microlearning, for example? Also, ask yourself if the tool allows for collaboration of subject matter experts or reviewers who are fresh eyes and could have some really valuable feedback on your material. And also, does it allow for the developer to easily provide, track, and implement feedback? Also, you'd want to know, I'm sure, about what is the price for the tool and what exactly is going to be your return on investment that you can expect, including, is it reduced time to develop content, or is it minute for minute you have to produce everything yourself? What support is available for the tool, you should ask, and what does that support cost? It may not be free and included with the purchase of your license. Are there support options that you and your company can benefit from if you purchase or subscribe to the tool? So often, if you use Word and PowerPoint and Google, you would need some expertise, some instructional design expertise, as an example, on how to take generic content and then build it into quality learning content. It does take more time to do that, and it may be perceived as the application or tool is free, and I put that in open air quotes, but if you're spending more time doing development of the actual learning content and you have to do it manually, then that is a hidden cost that you may not be thinking of. So these are things to consider when looking at this content development tool category. Now, selecting an e-learning production or authoring tool, you should evaluate the full content creation capabilities of the tool. So look at the tool's ability to support different content types, such as text or images, videos. Can it also use audio, integrate audio, and interactive elements like quizzes and simulations? And also ask about multimedia integration, content templates to help with efficiency, and configurable branding for your company that may want that in their output. Once you've got a full list of the product features, then ask yourself if the quality of the content matches the expectations and also the needs of your learners. You should also consider the content inputs for the production tool. So look at what type of content can be imported into the tool. And if your subject matter expert content is in Word files or HTML pages, and your e-learning authoring tool only supports presentations like slide decks, you'll find that you won't get full value from the tool. So this is a major consideration. Also, you should consider, what is the content output? So beyond e-learning courses, does the tool support other learning modes like content for presentations? Can it output to videos? And what about micro-learning? Additional options that you can think of may include extending the usability of the content authoring tool, and looking for evaluating what the ease of using that tool is. So whether you have a brand new hire who you are onboarding in the training department, or if you have a full roster of in-house instructional design expertise, the authoring tool that you decide on should actually match the technical proficiency of what your team is capable of doing. You should also ask if there is a demo trial available so that your team can take some time to try the potential tool before you make that big investment. Now, also consider course and program scalability of your learning content. So don't just consider the number, length, and the complexity of courses that can be created by the tool, but also evaluate how existing courses could be updated as your program grows. And also, as your content evolves and changes need to be made, as in the example where I gave earlier about there's a latest and greatest production release of software, and so now you have to update the training on that. So also consider the course and program scalability of your learning program. And for the roadmap, the development roadmap, whether upcoming features align of the tool with your future needs, because it's not just about planning for today, but it's about planning and envisioning what tomorrow and the future will be for your content development when you select a tool. Also verify LMS compatibility. So almost all e-learning authoring tools will support learning standards like SCORM and XAPI, and that enable them to export their content for upload to a learning management system. But it's worth checking if your preferred solution will integrate with your specific LMS if you have one. And if you're not using an LMS, consider exploring whether the tool will support your e-learning distribution strategy, whatever that may be. And we'll talk a little bit more about some use case studies alternative to LMS as well. Try to dig into collaboration capabilities of the tool. So many e-learning authoring tools will have collaboration tools, but you should inquire and find out about how feedback is incorporated into the e-learning course, and ask if there's a limit on the number of contributors of feedback. Do they all need licenses? And how can they get their feedback into the course using the tool or the feedback capabilities? Also evaluate support and training options. So check what kind of customer support, including technical assistance and training resources, are available for ramping up yourself and your team on the production tool. And then also investigate cost and licensing. So compare the pricing models. Are they per user? Are they subscription? Are they multi-year commitments or a one-time purchase? And ensure that it fits your budget. And whenever possible, take advantage of demos and free trials to get some hands-on experience and experience with your specific content also before you make a commitment. Also, we recommend that you read user reviews and recommendations online, get some feedback from peers or on the internet in communities to learn about real-world experiences with the e-learning course production, e-learning production tool. Sorry, I meant to say production or authoring tool. So with regards to learning management systems for delivering the training that you develop, not everyone needs to buy an LMS right away, but instead you should wait until you've actually scaled your learning program to the point where it makes sense to invest in an LMS. So to evaluate the features and functionality of different LMS options, look for a solution that offers the essential features and functionalities that align with your business needs and goals. For example, if you need to deliver compliance training, look for an LMS that offers compliance tracking and reporting. And if you need to deliver mobile learning, then you should look for an LMS that also offers mobile compatibility. Also be sure to consider the user experience and interface. So look for an LMS that offers a clean and intuitive interface with easy to use navigation for your learners and clear instructions. You may also want to consider the customization options that are available, such as the ability to brand the LMS with your company logo and colors, if that's important to you. Look at pricing and support options. So watch for transparent pricing with no hidden fees or charges. Also consider the level of support provided, because there may be a variance in levels available to you. You want to be able to choose the one that is right for you. You may have some customer service availability with regards to support options. Look for and ask about technical support and whether additional support such as training and implementation assistance is going to be offered with what you are purchasing or subscribing to. Also, you'll want to look for integrations and customization options in LMSs. Look for one that can integrate with your existing systems, such as if your HR software has a system or CRM. And this will help to streamline your processes and make it easier to manage your training programs. And also consider the level of customization that's available in the LMS, such as the interface, branding reports, branding dashboards, and training metrics. And also check into the available support and training on the LMS system as you determine what the full cost is going to be. And as always, be sure to check the user reviews and testimonials on an LMS before you invest in it. So now we're going to take some time for another poll. And this question is, which category of e-learning tools is your organization planning to invest in the coming year? And so please select content development, e-learning production, e-learning delivery system, and LMS, or none of the above. Take a couple of seconds to respond to that. And then Anu will let us know what the results are. Thank you for participating in the survey. And hopefully the results are coming in soon. Okay, so it looks like content development is the highest. That's fantastic to hear. E-learning production is at 30%. E-learning delivery system and LMS, 40%. That's quite high. That came in second place. And then none of the above, which is understandable because budgets are pretty tight these days. And so yes, I totally understand that. Thank you all for participating in that. Okay, so now let's take a look at some customer use cases. So here's an example where clients use separate solutions for content development, e-learning course creation, and for delivery. So some of our clients leverage existing content from different subject matter experts, quite a few of them, and also different formats such as documents and slides. And they'll put the content into the LearnExperts LEA toolset. Once the content is signed off, usually content that's being developed for learning would have to go through a signing off or milestone process. You can then export it and hand it off to the e-learning development team. So once it gets to the e-learning production team, they'll use a application like Articulate to transform it into a format that their dedicated e-learning developers will create e-learning for, that conforms to their own e-learning templates and processes. And then many clients will also use a video production tool as well, such as Synthesia or Videate, and they'll combine this with text-to-speech tools like Descript or Speechello. And then the content becomes pages of learning, which are interspersed with the different interactive elements that were designed in the course content phase. And along with the test questions that were created, then all of this is transformed into e-learning, which then is exported as SCORM files and hosted on a learning management system for the learner to sign in and have their learning on demand, as well as having their progress and completion of the course tracked while following a learning path. So this model of using 3 or more different tool sets to create the e-learning from the beginning through to the end of delivering to the learner is one of the use cases that some of our clients are using. If we look at another example, this is where a client of ours uses one solution for content development and one solution for e-learning production and delivery. And it's a pretty cool example of what they do. They create learning it uses gamification. So the content is developed in the Leah tool, which helps to make use of the AI capabilities for quick question generation and creating a graphic novel script. And then the content is exported for production into the e-learning offering that's presented on a gaming platform like Unity 3D, which delivers the WebGL to browsers directly and can export modules in SCORM. And this use case has been really time-saving for the course creation by the client, and the learner is engaged while learning new skills on a security awareness in a gaming type of environment. Now here's an example in use case 3 where the client uses the Leah solution for content development and for e-learning production, and then uses a separate tool for delivery, a tool in this case which is not an LMS. For employee onboarding and employee training, for example, we have some clients who use Leah for developing internal training by taking a lot of existing assets that they have and then having Leah structure the content into a format that follows learning best practices of tell me what I need to know as a learner, then show me what I need to know how to do, and then let me try through doing some hands-on exercises, and then test me by asking me some questions so I can apply my knowledge and test what I know and understand what areas I need to go back and work on. So once the internal training has been developed, it's quickly shared on an enterprise repository like SharePoint with permissions put in place to ensure that the right people in their organization have access to the training. Now, I just have a couple more use cases. This use case is an example where a client uses one solution for content development and e-learning production, and then a separate tool for e-learning delivery to the learner. And it can be used it's used by customer support, customer success, lead generation, and marketing clients. They can take their existing assets and then have Leah transform them into digital learning by outputting in HTML that's then served up on a website for consumption by whoever their learning audience is. And there's no extra skill set for a development team for e-learning in this situation other than the ability to actually post on a website and make the learning available. And they also leverage the capabilities of Leah to create some micro-learning components by concept. So they can extract concepts and then post them separately. They can save them as Word files or HTML and then upload those to a knowledge base, or they can create a video script and then use a video production tool. The last use case I'm going to share today of our clients is an example where a client uses the Leah solution for content development and e-learning production, and then uses a separate solution for e-learning delivery in the LMS platform. So this case is when the client can take advantage of the AI capabilities and ease of using content development in Leah, and then exports directly to SCORM files from Leah, which are then just uploaded to an LMS such as Blackboard. And currently, Leah supports multiple SCORM outputs for popular LMS systems that are available in the market. So now you can expect more tools in the market that will include AI because it's totally disrupting our industry. Here are some examples of some AI-enabled tools that are used for training and development. And as we review these, please put in the chat if you could list AI tools that you are using now or evaluating. We're quite curious. So Learn Experts uses AI to build content for presentations, e-learning courses, and microlearning for onboarding, compliance, and training programs, and also offers learning paths, among other. That's just a very quick summary of that. Absorb LMS is a learning management system that uses AI to help admins manage day-to-day tasks and use learner data to predict new content that will likely interest them. And Totera, which I've just learned recently about, it uses AI to identify users' key interests and skills and information to create learning pathways that are customized for the user. Videate is an example that turns documentation and scripts into software videos using AI, automation, and text-to-speech. So that's really cool. Descript is a tool that one of our clients, more than one of our clients, uses to write, record, transcribe, edit, collaborate, and share your videos and podcasts. So I won't go through all of these because there's quite an array, as you can see. And I'll hop on to the next slide, which is actually a poll. So we would appreciate if you could answer this poll question. Are you actively using an AI-enabled tool to create training? So if you could select yes, no, or evaluating, we would really appreciate it. We'll see what the results are. So yes is 57, that's more than half, and evaluating, wow, that's really high, 29%, and then 14 for no, for not using an AI-enabled tool. Well, hopefully you'll investigate that or consider that soon in the future. So let's summarize what you learned today. So we did cover that there are a lot of e-learning tools that are available, but finding which one is right for you can be really challenging. So today we shared with you 3 tech categories that we use when discussing possible solutions with our clients, and we hope that they have helped you decide what questions to ask when you're investigating and exploring different tools. We presented you some considerations for you to weigh in on as you look for the right fit for your company, with ideas on what you want to consider as you look at solutions that are for training content development tools, or for e-learning production tools, or for e-learning delivery tools like an LMS system. And we looked at some of our client use cases where they use 1, 2, or 3 solutions or more to address what their training content development, production, and delivery needs are. So with that, I would like to thank you for your time and interest, and we hope that you found this session to be helpful.